Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if you haven't subscribed yet or this is your first time here, please subscribe, turn on that bell, notification bell, and hit the thumbs up. Okay, well, oh, babies, Knicks fans, the Knicks are fourth. It's official, the fourth seed of the 2020-2021 season for the Eastern Conference. This team got home court advantage. Wow. This is truly something spectacular. I mean, I'm sure every single Knicks fan in this city, all over the world, because I'm in Los Angeles again, remember? Everyone's walking around with a big smile on their face. I mean, in some ways, we're playing with house money, right? We're playing with house money. We weren't supposed to be here. No. We were LOL, Knicks LOL, remember? Well, not anymore. Now we are the team that no one wants to play. Exactly. Now we're playing against a team, Atlanta, in the first round, who's a very, very good team, very solid team, actually very similar statistically to the Knicks. They're a better offensive team, but we're a better defensive team. You know, we finished right above each other. The net ratings are almost, I think ours was 2.4, theirs was 2.2 or something like that. Very close. We were 10th, they were 11th. So we have a battle on our hands, which is exactly what we want. It's exactly what we want because that's what the playoffs are all about. It's all about playing your best in the moment when it counts. And there's somebody who I believe does that. It's somebody who it's in his DNA to do that. And his name is RJ Barrett. That's right, our 20-year-old, the youngest player on the team, still one of the youngest players in the entire NBA. I believe that he is the key to a long, deep run for the Knicks into these playoffs. That's right. Because I believe it's a given. I believe it's a given that Julius is going to perform at his all-NBA-esque level. Yes, I do believe. I don't think he's going to regress. In fact, for all we know, he's going to step it up even more. And I also believe that guys like Bullock, Burks, Derrick Rose, they're all going to deliver. They're all going to perform at the level that we have become accustomed to and that we need them to. You know, Nerlens, Taj, IQ. You know, who knows? IQ. It's going to be interesting if he gets significant minutes. But we might even see Frank. But the person who is the key to it all, because there is no deep run in this playoffs without RJ Barrett leveling up once again. Now you're wondering, how can he level up again? I believe that RJ Barrett is similar to Jayson Tatum in a lot of ways. They both came from Duke, and Jayson Tatum is the precedent for a young player in his first playoffs taking that next step up. Tatum, he was fantastic in that playoff series. The first, not just the whole playoffs. He was a key instrumental part for that Celtics team going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And he found that extra gear, and I think RJ has that ability to crank it up into that extra gear himself. First of all, it's in his character. It's in his demeanor. He doesn't get frazzled. We've seen that. He's unflappable. And that's the best thing about him. And as the game goes on, he gets better. That's why. Here, let me show you some stuff here. Look at this. First of all, let's go here to give you a little context of what RJ Barrett has accomplished in his young career. This is a tweet for Tommy Beer, who I love. He's one of my favorite guys to follow. Here's a full list of all NBA players to tally more than 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 300 assists before celebrating his 21st birthday. Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, Melo, LeBron, Luka, KD, and RJ Barrett. That's it. End of the list, as he wrote there. That just gives you a little something, a little taste of what kind of a player we have. Yes, I know last year he was probably the most inefficient player in the NBA, I believe, the most inefficient starter, I believe. But he's made a huge leap this season. And it's one of the reasons why we got the fourth place finish, why we finished 41-31. That's right. Unbelievable, right? Well, here we go. Look at these fourth quarter. These stats, this is from Corner 3. They're about a month old, but I'm still showing them to you because they are still relevant. This just shows how, as the game goes on, when you go into the fourth quarter, crunch time, RJ Barrett steps up. He levels up. His usage rate increases, which is usually indicative of someone who's accomplishing the goal, which is to score or to make sure the ball ends up in the right hands to score. His free throws, they increase. The amount of free throws increase. That's right. He actually gets to the line more as the game goes on. And he converts there at a very high clip in the fourth quarter. He converts about 80% in the fourth quarter. So that just shows you he doesn't get he's unflappable. Like pressure actually makes him better. So what more pressure is there than in the playoffs? Playoffs is the maximum pressure. So I expect him to rise up. And look at his field goal percentage climbs, his 3-point percentage climbs. Actually, in totality for the season, because these stats were a little bit old, his field goal percentage in the fourth quarter is 46.1%. Yes. And his 3-point field goal percentage is 44.4%. Easy to remember. 44.4%. Look at that 3-point field goal percentage. So this guy, when it's crunch time, he steps up. Let's look at something else over here. Look at this shot chart. This is from Kurt Goldsberry, I believe. He made this cool thing. I found it on Reddit, which I love. This is the leading scorers by zone of the entire NBA. Now you see Trae Young at the top there, so we got to be on him this series. But look who's there: Dame, Curry, Kyrie, CP3, the Joker, DeRozan, Booker, Westbrook, Buddy Hield, Vooch. Look at Middleton. But look who's there next to him in the right corner, leading the entire NBA, RJ Barrett. That's right. And look who's next to him. His partner in crime, Julius. Jew's beast down there. I mean, we've seen him do it. This guy, he's pretty clutch from that right side, the baseline. Unbelievable. That turnaround that he makes. I love it. A step back. And then RJ Barrett, man. And RJ Barrett is also very efficient from the other corner as well. And obviously, he's efficient from all over because the kid is averaging tremendous stats from the three-point line. Let's look at now to put this into context here. The reason I believe that he's going to increase his productivity in the playoffs is because he's been on a trajectory of just improving and getting more efficient as the season goes on. Okay, here we go. So this compares 2019, his rookie season, to this season, which he went from 14.3 points a game to 17.6 points a game, 5 rebounds to 5.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists to 3 assists. So everything went up. Field goal percentage went up. It was a really dismal 40.2%, and his 3-point shooting was a really abysmal 32%. Now it's at 40.1%, which is phenomenal for him. It's phenomenal for anybody, but especially for him. He's leveled up tremendously. The free throw, look at the free throw, 61.4%. Now it's 74.6%. His field goal percentage has gone up. His true shooting percentage has gone up. But now let's look at the stats within the stats here. This season, let's look at the last 39 games, which is that third column. He's up to 18.8 points a game, almost 19 points a game. Yeah, and his rebounding went down a little bit tick, 5.4, but his assists went up 3.1 assists per game, but his field goal percentage, 45.1%, and his 3-point field goal percentage is at 44.5%, which is 6th in the NBA, the entire NBA, for people who take a minimum of 5 attempts a game. This is since February 27th, which is the last 39 games for RJ Barrett. His free throws percentage has even gone up a little bit, almost 76%. His field goal percentage is at a nice 52.6%, getting close to league average there. True shooting percentage, 56.1%. That is actually close to league average. So this kid is just amping it up. He's increasing his productivity, and I believe I have a playoff projection for RJ Barrett. He's going to average a north of 21.5 points a game, north of 7 rebounds a game, north of 4 assists a game. His field goal percentage is going to increase because he's going to become more and more efficient. His 3-point field goal percentage, hopefully, you never know. 3-point field goal percentage is a little, 3-point shooting is a little bit fickle, but he should continue the way he was going, 45%, the way he's been going the last 39 games, which is fantastic. Because he's got something in his DNA that makes him like, I think what happens is he just refuses to lose, and his focus just increases because it sharpens even further. And as I showed you, the fourth quarter stats indicate that. Now here we go. I'm going to show you something else. Another reason why I believe that this guy is made for the big time. Because when he was at Duke, when Zion went down, it was a game against North Carolina, he went down, which was towards the latter part of the season, and it was a really important time of the season, really. They really needed Zion. There weren't that many other players on the team. I mean, Cam Reddish was there, but, you know, and Jack White and Jones, you know, these guys, they were performing decently, but, you know, not good enough. Not good enough to take you deep. So what had to happen? RJ Barrett had to step up. And in that North Carolina game, I believe he scored north of 30 points, got like 11 assists, or 11 or 13 rebounds. And I believe he even led the team in assists in that game, 5. And then when he played against Syracuse, very similar. 30 points he scored, and that game didn't have Zion at all. So and that was a very important game against Syracuse. They really needed that one. And as you know, in the NCAA, in the conference tournament, he played very well as in the NCAA tournament. Now, his efficiency, though, sometimes kind of, took a dip. But he had to carry that team. Now, Zion did come back for the March Madness, which was fantastic, which is why they were able to make a deep run. But here's something else. When he played for the Canada team in the FIBA World Cup, this is what he did in the semifinals game, which was probably the biggest game for the Canadian basketball team at the time. They beat USA 99-87. RJ Barrett scored 38 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. He led in every category. Kind of similar to what he did with the UNC game. So there you go. This was a very intense game. This was a game that demanded excellence. But you think, oh, well, you know what? It's just, it's an under, I think this was the under 19 game. Who even played on the USA team? All right, let me show you. This team was coached by John Calipari. Peyton Pritchard, Emmanuel Quickley, Carson Edwards, Cam Reddish, Diallo, Josh Okogie, Kevin Huerter, who he'll be facing against the Hawks, and PJ Washington. All of those guys are in the NBA now. Ask me how many guys are in the NBA on the Canada team. Not that many. In fact, only one. Only one guy. RJ Barrett. There he is. RJ Barrett. He's the only one who's in the NBA now. So he had to carry that team. So when a team needed him to step up big time, he did it. And they went on to win the gold medal. That's right. Now let's look at his stats against Atlanta. So he played 3 games against Atlanta. He averaged 21 points. Look, everything was up. 7.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists. His field goal percentage, 51.4%. His 3-point percentage, 37.5, was lower than it is against that he's been averaging in the past 39 games, but that's still a really good percentage. His plus minus 10.5 compared to the season average of 2.7. And the Knicks won all 3 of those games. So there's no way that, of course there's always a way. You never know. You never know what can happen to a guy. You can get into a funk. But I believe with the week off that he has here, I mean, he's going to be training and stuff, but he's not going to be playing games. And I think that's going to let him rest a little and focus on areas where he can really exploit his gifts that he has, which is driving to the basket and getting that mid-range jumper going, because he's got the 3-point jumper. But the long mid-range is coming along. It's about, I think he averages about 39% or so from 16 feet to the 3-point line, which is, decent. It's pretty decent. It's increased from last season, like everything else he's been, and all of his long-range shooting has. So this guy is the key. He's the key. He is the key to pair up with Julius, who's going to also be in beast mode, to take these Knicks deep into the playoffs. Gonna beat the Hawks, hopefully. I believe, I think it's gonna be 6 games. I think the Knicks are gonna beat them in 6, and then whoever they face in the second round, which will most likely be the Philadelphia Sixers, bring them on. All right, well, thank you for watching, and look, don't forget, get your Into the Knicks-Verse hat, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so and hit that thumbs up for me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.